convenient.
Yes.
You couldn't have, yeah, you
Yes.
couldn't have a more convenient, accessible pocket of the city. You've got 94, 394, 694. You've got the beautiful Parkway if you want to take a leisurely way to work. I mean, so it's such an accessible, wonderful part of the city.
I'm pleased to hear that economic development is the next arena that you're looking to, because one of the things that people who come into our community comment on, and we hear this from the individual neighborhood associations, is that people want those shops to go to. They want a good restaurant in their neighborhood, and that's one thing that they identify, you know, that we need to work on, and we know that. So I'm really pleased to hear that that's the direction you're going in.
Absolutely.
Ultimately.
Joel, tell us about a NOMI tour, how that gets going and how it unfolds.
Sure, absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, we originally started by marketing this to the GL Beach community. From there, it just continued to grow and grow and grow. We have a blog that we have set up where we'll oftentimes list many of the houses that we're going to showcase on a tour. We will work with a real estate agent who's very familiar with the north side, and we'll go out and we'll preview several homes. We may find homes everywhere from a foreclosed property all the way up to a home that's move-in ready, beautiful on the Parkway. The thing that's been really great about this is we have such a wide variety of homes to choose from. We've had homes on the tours that are on the market for $30,000. So it's unbelievable when you think that you can buy a home.
Not only $30,000, but move-in ready at
Right,
$30,000.
exactly.
30,000 move-in ready.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, in addition to that, as part of the home tour, we try to do a lot of education, not only about the community, and the neighbors are key facilitators for that too, but that's our opportunity to talk about all of the financial incentives that exist currently for moving into these neighborhoods. And I don't know if, Joel, you want to reference that a little more specifically. Of course, there's the federal credit, the $8,000 federal credit, but beyond that, various neighborhoods have their own incentives, and then there's an additional $10,000 from you folks in Minneapolis here.
The Minneapolis Advantage program.
Yes, that's been a blessing.
And
for us.
I know the federal tax credit is set to expire, I think, in December. But there are efforts, of course, by the Realtors Group and some of the home buyer associations at the federal level to try and continue that. So certainly the city is interested in seeing that continue, because it's been a wonderful tool for us as well.
Yeah. One of the things that has been exciting with the home tours for us is we try to track some of the participants that are coming out on the tours that are maybe looking at North Minneapolis for the first time. And to be honest, people do come into the neighborhood and are feeling a little bit uneasy maybe about looking at the north side. And our last home tour was in September, and we had a young couple, very, very nice, she brought her mother and father along, and from Shoreview, and very unfamiliar with the neighborhoods of North Minneapolis, and they were absolutely, completely changed by the time they left the home tour. Like the quality of the homes that we saw was fantastic. I mean, we're looking again at houses. The majority of the homes that we're looking at are between $80,000 and $135,000. You can't find that anywhere in this city, and to see the quality of home that we're looking at, and they have the opportunity to see the quiet streets, the neighborhoods the neighbors who are out welcoming them. So it really gives people an opportunity to change their minds about the neighborhoods of North Minneapolis.
You know, I know that even in the newest neighborhoods of North Minneapolis, which would be Shingle Creek and Lynn Bohannon, or parts of those neighborhoods, were built after World War II. But those are lovely homes, story-and-a-half bungalows, and they have hardwood floors and, you know, wonderful potential. I know there are ways that you can look at expanding some of those homes, and there are plans that are available at the Northwest Housing Resource Center, suggestions for how to make those houses bigger and that sort of thing. That's the kind of house that I grew up in Lynn Bohannon. So, but I just think it is really amazing, the kind of housing stock we have, and many, many choices for people, including some move-up housing too for folks. And one of the things that I hear is that there are a lot of people that move within the neighborhood too, and they wait for a house that they've been looking at for a long time to go on the market, and then they'll go after it.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. I think people come into the neighborhood, and as we talked about earlier, there's a real feeling of community, and you don't want to leave.
Yes.
You know, you find a wonderful home, and you can just continue to move from house to house because it's so affordable.
Don't get any ideas, Joel. I like our house.
Well, and something else that you mentioned is that I think is another really great opportunity is so many of these neighborhood organizations are offering money as well to fix up a property. So
very low interest loans or forgivable loans.
Exactly.
Yes.
So not only can you get free money to purchase, you can also get money that is either, like you mentioned, very low interest or fully forgivable to fix up a property.
Not only that, but there are organizations such as GIMIC, the Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation, that come into these maybe lesser desirable homes that have been foreclosed. They buy them up, and rather than turn them over to an investor who may or may not care about who they put in those homes, they sell them to owner-occupants. You know, they sell them to families, and the homes, the work themselves that's put into it, loving care. In fact, the home that Joel mentioned at the start of the program right next door to us is a GIMIC home, and it's beautiful. I mean, we truly wish our former neighbors who used to live at that property could come and see it now and see what that home has become, because it's gorgeous and it's typical of the work that GIMIC and other organizations are doing. They
really are striving to maintain the original character of those homes and do the detail work, which is what is really attractive to people, I think. Absolutely. And the great story about GIMIC is that they have, at this point, renovated 40 homes, and all of those 40 homes have sold. So now it's on to the next batch of properties for them, which is very exciting for our community.
Well, and we love it when we find out that GIMIC has added another home to their list, because we are doing our tours once a month. And so we're always looking for a new home to add to our tour. Our next tour is actually going to be Sunday, October 11th. Okay. For more information on that, they can simply give me a call or drop us an email at mynewneighbor@gmail.com. And happy to send out more information about our meeting location. We meet someplace different every week, so we have an opportunity to see a new business, see a new coffee shop, a new restaurant, a new bar that is in the neighborhood, and then head out onto one of the tours.
I know you've been at Victory 44 and Papa's Pizza, and now Emily's just did a renovation, so I hope you get a hold of Emily and Elliot Benacasa, because I'm sure they'd love to be a host and hostess as well. I unfortunately haven't been in there yet, but people have told me it's a really lovely renovation. So people are investing in our community, which is wonderful for us, I think.
Well, you mentioned those businesses, Barb. Victory 44, Emily's, the Warren and Artist Habitat, Steamworks Coffee. It's all in the intersection of 44th and Penn, and we jokingly refer to it as the Times Square of at least the northern part of NOMI. But there's been so much just pure economic development across the board, both in that region, and then of course you've been instrumental in the development of Broadway and Lowry. I mean, we're seeing this in every facet and corner of North Minneapolis, and that's what's been absolutely thrilling. I mean, rising tide. I mean, it's happening. It's happening, and we're seeing the benefits of that.
Well, those kind of improvements wouldn't happen without governmental partners and private enterprise partners, and I will tell you that the county has been a wonderful developer and a wonderful economic engine, particularly with the Lowry corridor. They have spent $30 million in redevelopment of the north side on the Lowry corridor, and we're going to have a harvest festival October 11th, and that is really going to celebrate the reopening of that street. Very lovely addition to our community. But they have been a partner in so many things, including the Humboldt Greenway. Right now we have great improvements going on Victory Memorial Drive that the county is funding, where we've closed some intersections to provide more pedestrian and bike safety. That work is getting done. It's nearly completed. So I stress that it is so important in the city that we're a player in a bigger picture, and you have to have partners that will help you.